Yoo-hoo! Woo-woo people! This is a video for woo-woo people. Sage burning, crystal gritting, tarot card reading, hippie, witchy, woo-woo types. If that does not describe you, you probably are going to hate this video. So I send you on your internet adventuring way with much love and peace for the rest of you. I wanted to talk today about spiritual maturity in the New Age community. I personally call myself a witch. I really love this term. A lot of people in the New Age community really gravitate toward shamanism. We have a lot of people exploring things like ayahuasca and women's circles, goddess circles. And there's just, I think we live in a really exciting time that way, that we get to craft our own spiritual practice. For those of us who want to, for those of us who don't really feel the organized religion thing, a lot of us grew up in that, and now we, you may have gone through a phase of rejecting it, like I did in my teens, and then you kind of land at a place where it starts to be exciting and a lot of fun to really craft your own spiritual practice. I'm all about the crystals and the tarot cards and all that good stuff, but I do see something happening, running kind of like parallel alongside this movement, and that is, it's very excessive. It's kind of like the Instagramming of spirituality. It's become like a commodity and very, very trendy. Very trendy. Have you noticed how all the big magazines now and some of the larger media outlets are starting to post like witchy things, and you can just go into Urban Outfitters and find like all these things that you used to only be able to find in little Etsy shops or little witchy shops locally. It's become a thing. And I think that there's a danger in that. I don't think it's super duper dangerous. I think it's mostly fun. But the danger in it, from my perspective, is that it just stays trendy and we just stay like on the surface, and that a lot of young people or people that are new to this path, they might like gorge on all the goodies and collect all of the crystals and, go to all of these retreats that you can go to now and wear feather earrings and flowers in your hair and all of that great stuff, and really truly miss the entire point, which is the reason, in my opinion, that these spiritualities, these paths are becoming so popular is because we crave something very grounding and very real. If you don't know who I am, my name is Joanna DeVoe. I am the kooky creatrix behind Kick-Ass Witch, put in the K in magic. I have a weekly podcast that I do called Hippie Witch, Peace, Love, and all that good. No, Peace, Love, Magic for a New Age. I give away a free ebook called Peace, Love, and all that good. I'm not gonna swear today because I might not know you if you're watching this video. I do coaching, kooky being the operative word, obviously. I just kind of go with the flow and be my own funky self. And what that has done is it's attracted a tribe of people to me that it's that like attract likes thing. If you're into the law of attraction or you're into magic, you know that what you put out, you get back. So in sharing my personal story, my whole spiritual trajectory, and keeping it kind of goofy and real, I've attracted those kind of people to myself. And we've got this really cool tribe. And with a lot of people who come to me for coaching or just random bits of advice, they often, their lives are painful. And a lot of them have that really happy hippie veneer, and they're doing positive affirmations, and they're doing the EFT, they're tapping, and they bought all the right crystals, and there's a fly buzzing around. It's summer in LA. I'm also very sweaty right now, so if you see like something zigzagging, for all of you woo-woo people, it's not a fairy, it's an ordinary housefly. But there's a lot of pain for a lot of people, and a lot of sadness underneath the happy hippie facade. And I was like that for a long time too. So I wrote an ebook at the top of the year called The Spiritually Mature Witch. And I feel like mature is not a very attractive word for a lot of us. It's not very sexy. But I just felt kind of called to do it. I felt very like something was speaking through me, and I wrote this thing rather quickly at the top of the year. And as I was writing it, I asked my tribe, like, what does spiritual maturity mean to you? Because I really wanted to know. I wanted to know, like, what does it mean to be a spiritually mature witch or new agey person, whatever you may be. And my personal definition at the time that I asked the question is that it's the difference between power over and power within. And power over is, it can go two ways. It's you trying to have power over other people, other things, or it's you being the kind of person who other things and other people have power over. And ironically, those often go hand in hand. You kind of can't have one without the other, because when you try to have power over, you give your power away. Power within, again, ironically, it's very magnetic, it's very attractive, and it actually gives you a sense of having it's not a power over, but having power to direct your life in a co-creative way that feels satisfying. It's challenging because life is, and I am not going to tell you, if you read this ebook or you listen to my podcast or you call me for a coaching call, I'm never going to say like, and you will finally arrive. You will finally know the secrets to life. Everything is going to work from now on, which I think a lot of people, they get into that belief system. If I could just find the right magical necklace or the right magical candle or the right, EFT practice, then I could finally just be done with all of the pain of life. And I really think that why witchcraft, shamanism, these deeper practices are so appealing is because they acknowledge the pain in life, and they acknowledge it as the happiness in your life is proportionate to the pain that you've experienced, the contrast, if you will. And it's about, for me, spiritual maturity is about having the power within to transmute those painful moments of your life or the challenges of your life into lessons, into healing, and ultimately into a greater capacity to experience joy. I wanted to read you, let me pull that up real quick. I wanted to read to you some other people's answers because I just think it's interesting to get a variety. I am not the end all, be all authority on spiritual maturity, so I thought it'd be fun to read some of the answers that I got. So one is spiritual maturity is someone who is comfortable in their own skin and power and understands the need to constantly learn, change, and grow on their path. I'm totally down with that. I'm in my 40s now, and I always say the more I know I don't know. There is always something to learn, and the deeper you dive down into a subject or into even a level of healing, the more you see like how much more there is. And I think that's exciting. I'm a person who really likes to learn, and so that's a great aspect of spiritual maturity, in my opinion. Another answer is authenticity. We hear that a lot these days. Authenticity has become such a catchword, but it's powerful. So this person said authenticity, lack of pretense, and intellectual curiosity. I'm all about that. Another person, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you hang with me for 5? Spiritual maturity in a nutshell to me means respecting oneself. Oh, all right, let's try that again. Spiritual maturity in a nutshell to me means respecting your own personal views and beliefs while respecting others' personal views and beliefs with an open heart and an open mind. Another one is someone who takes full responsibility. That's a good word. The ability to respond is how I always think of that. Someone who takes full responsibility for their emotions and reactions. They do not blame other people or entities for their troubles. I like that they wrote entities in quotation marks, because that is something that I would do. And I feel like, again, like sometimes there are certain new agey gurus out there that kind of prey on your desire to bypass your own spiritual lessons and say, oh yes, these entities have attached themselves to you, and for the handy dandy price of $99.99, I will remove them from you. So yeah, taking responsibility for your own shit, I think is, oh, I wasn't gonna swear. Well, I just did. That's how I roll. I think that's an important part of spiritual maturity. And then the last one, which you'll probably gather I fully agree with if you've been watching this video or you've been following me for any length of time, being able to laugh at yourself and not take your path too seriously, while at the same time being deeply devoted to your path and your own personal development. And that really resonates with me, because I don't think that I need to show up here for you with a turban on my head and a bindi on my third eye and incense burning and this kind of tone of voice with plinky plunky music in the background and talk about how evolved I am and how I'm here to help you awaken and evolve. That to me feels inauthentic. I just like to see real people that have had real experiences and real challenges in their lives reach a point where they can deal with their lives on a daily basis. So, having said that, this video is actually about that ebook that I was talking about, The Spiritually Mature Witch, 5 Keys to Unlocking Your Personal Power. What I love about this is it's not an inspirational read. I didn't write this so that you would walk away feeling motivated until the next book that you picked up, probably the next day, because we're all such book hoarders these days. So many books, so little time. I wanted to share practices, like practical things, and make a kind of workbook that could teach you how to kind of witch on the go, how to live your life without having to meditate for an hour every single day, without having to fill your entire living room with a giant crystal grid. And to really, I think the point is presence. And so that's what these 5 keys, as I call them, do. They unlock your personal power because they allow you to, despite the challenges of your life, despite too many choices, despite the distractions, despite other people triggering your shadow, to stay present, to really stay present. And they're designed to help you transmute feelings of shame into self-compassion. Self-love is really big with me. I think it's the foundation to everything. If you haven't gotten hip to self-love, I give a free ebook away to anybody who wants one. Just go to my website and you will see free ebook, really big across the top, www.joannadevoe.com. And I give that away for free. It's an awesome, in-depth little ebook about how to create a kick-ass sense of self-love. It's another one. It's very practical. I like to teach people. I don't like to just share a bunch of inspirational quotes and get people pumped up. I like to teach them practical tools. So there's that. And then the Spiritually Mature Witch, once you have kind of a handle on this concept of self-love being more than a concept and being like a daily practice, what the Spiritually Mature Witch does is it gives you practices that allow you to stay present despite the full spectrum of challenges that you meet in your life. So everything from just straight up boredom or distraction because there's too many things on the internet, all the way through to the most painful challenges of our lives. And despite how silly I am, believe me, I understand challenge. I have had long, painful bouts with anxiety and depression and agoraphobia, post-traumatic stress disorder. I am the mother of a 22-year-old man with autism, and my life has not been a piece of cake, and yet today, because of all these practices that I share all the time on the podcast and in these ebooks, I've gotten to a place where I can be present to my life. And despite all of the challenges and despite whatever, curveballs life wants to throw my way, I can arrive at a place of joy again and again and again. I don't know if you can sustain joy like 24/7. It's a place that you arrive at over and over and over and over again intentionally, and that to me is so much to do with spiritual maturity as well. I'm not really sure how long I've been talking at you, so I'm just going to wrap this up. Thank you so much. If you've never seen one of my videos, thank you for hanging with me all this time, and until we meet again, I hope we meet again. Much love to you. Peace.